Just like trying to craft things early on. I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to be down there or not. I completely blanked when they were talking about stuff and telling me where to go. Because I'm busy talking. I was just like, yes, talking. Definitely talking. And then it's just like, oh shit, the dialogue is over. Where am I supposed to go? I'm going to go back to the other town and see if it will let me go somewhere else. If not, then we'll go down there. Talking not good. Pay attention, game. Game important. Oh, you're just armor, aren't you? Yes. With that battle axe in there that I don't currently have use for. This direction had the shops. Go in the door. Go in the door. I'm gonna cut this up for VODs, and it's just gonna be like, you've just been running around this entire time. You got nowhere. I think Button. I think it's funny that you mentioned the Tales games, because after I finish either the Star Ocean series or the Final Fantasy series, whichever one comes first, the Tales series is going to be next. I'm not surprised. Video games are important, though. Oh, I have too many cooking ingredients. But yeah, no, I definitely agree with that there, Rich. Gotta involve the chat. The chat is important, peoples. There's nobody to talk to if the chat is not here. And then if you're not talking to chat, why are you streaming in the first place? Welcome. Yes, welcome. Apple pie. There we go. Just talk. I do that when there's nobody in chat. Just sitting here and it's like, oh, nobody's here yet. So I'll just narrate everything that I do. Which is actually like one of the things that a lot of people seem to miss when they start streaming is like, you know, like you're obviously when you start streaming, you're not going to have anybody. So if you're not willing to like narrate or talk to yourself, then when people come in, they're just going to be like, oh, this guy's literally just sitting here staring. Just so y'all know, you're not wrong. I actually do narrate when I'm at work. I'll be sitting there and I'll be soldering something. So I got this fluxed. So now I'll do this. And now I'll do, okay, now I can say, yeah, that's good. That's good. Have you actually seen copper ore? No, I really haven't. What? What do you mean? Yeah, no, like, and that's why I find it funny when people say that, like, you know, oh, like, games rot your brain, blah, blah, blah. It's like, there's studies out now. It's like, games are good for people. Like, especially, like, depending on what it is. Like, you know, first-person shooters help with your hand-eye coordination. Like, RPGs, like, help with, like, imagination and creativity. Puzzle games help with, like, you know, comprehensive and, like, problem-solving skills. Like, there's uses for most games. Also, yes, like, good for depression. Escape for a little bit. Be that badass warrior. Spoke what? What?
Being a badass warrior.
Which is why I also encourage, if you're into video games, Dungeons and Dragons and LARP. Also excellent ways to do such things. As well as LARP and Dungeons and Dragons also being good for social skills. There's actually, I forget where it is. I can't remember if it's in the States or Canada. I think it's in Canada. But there's a kid that's actually getting like this big award from their town because he started a D&D group at his school, and he's been running it for months. Like, he learned from his mom, which was funny because his mom just learned to be able to teach him. Oh yeah, LARP is great. But she learned to like teach him about it, and he started playing with people at school, like created a club, and it helped all of these kids that were like really bad in social situations, and being able to like kind of like communicate with people and stuff like that. It helped them be able to solve like different problems in their life, and like just, you know, if they needed to confront a situation that they normally weren't comfortable confronting, they could like kind of almost like put themselves in another character and like confront those problems like head to head. Dark Souls. No, I just have it on the retro thing right now because I'm doing retro games, but like I do like all kinds of new games. I'm not a huge Dark Souls person. He is obviously somebody I can recruit at some point. I've never been like a Dark Souls type of person. Like, I really want to try Elden Ring, because Elden Ring looks like it's a whole different like ball game. I feel like it's the kind of Dark Souls.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
Okay, Dark Souls that I would like enjoy. Like, they came out like a final. They came up with a Final Fantasy that was very Dark Souls-esque.
It's nothing really.
But yeah, back to that kid.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, he's getting an award because he's helped all these people, and when the kids were asked about it, they're like, "Oh, well, this person runs this D&D group, and he taught me how to do this and do that." Okay, Luke. Have fun at work. Don't hate me too much. Okay, so that's the plains. Where am I supposed to go? I think I'm definitely supposed to go down that place. But yeah, like, so he's getting this big giant award from town for that. And the funny thing is, like, the thing that's really, really crazy is he ran, he would do a one-shot. He made up a brand new one-shot every single session for 6 months. Like, as somebody who runs a D&D campaign, to create a brand new one-shot for your players every single fucking day for a month is absolutely ludicrous. Like, that's just wild. The funny thing is, I actually have all of the Dark Souls games. Most of. I think I have 1 through 3. I think I have Bloodborne. Like, I got them through, like, you know, PlayStation free games, or like, you know, codes for PC and stuff like that. It's gotta be fucking down here. It's gotta be. But like, I played some of them and I was like, okay, I was like, you know, they seem alright. And it's not even like the difficulty of them, because like, you know, I could just grind on weaker enemies to make myself stronger. But like, they just, like, they really didn't draw me in like they draw some other people in. But like, Elden Ring looks like it's definitely a different thing that I feel like would not only draw me in, but it's something that I would enjoy a lot more. So like, I feel like if it ever goes on sale, like, it's one of those things where like I have such a backlog of games, I just can't really see myself paying for it unless it's on like some kind of like massive discount. There are very few games I would sit and like actually put the money into at this point. There's like a few series where like I'm watching for them for sure. Yeah, like that, and that's one of the things that bothers me, because like that's also one of the things that kind of like back to like Final Fantasy that irked me about 13 was like how linear it was. I hate when RPGs do that, where like like, don't get me wrong, obviously at the start of an RPG you gotta like get the story started like 100%, but like once you're a little bit of the ways in, you just need to like leave people to their own devices. But like 13 just kind of like until the like end game, it was just like, no, you're going this way, and that's just how it's gonna work. And it's like, oh, well, okay then, thanks. I want to play the one that has Tifa. You've never played 7? Like, have you? Like, are you just talking about the remake of 7, or like the original for 7? 7 was the one with Tifa. 8 is the one with Squall and Rinoa. 8 is actually like a very unliked Final Fantasy among the series. 8 is one of my favorites. It's definitely a very controversial opinion among a lot of Final Fantasy people. They did a big switch around with like how the magic system worked, and I think that's one of the main things that kind of like threw people off of it. Which I can understand. OG Final Fantasy and the OG 7 and the remake. 7 is really good. Like, it's probably like, I don't know if you're strictly on console or if you're on PC at all, but like I'm pretty sure it's like dirt cheap on PC. Oh, 8 was, if you junctioned your magic properly enough, 8 was like a fucking cakewalk. Like, don't get me wrong. Just Xbox. I think 7 is on Xbox. I'm not sure how much it is right now. And like, especially grinding in 8, like if you went to the, I think it's like the Falcons on the beach right outside the garden, you can level up so fucking fast, because at the start of the game, the EXP you get from them just doesn't drop as you level up. And especially if you do the Squall trick, where you just leave Squall dead and don't level him up, because I can't remember if they're based off Squall's level, or if they're based off of the overall level of, like, the party. Then it drops the level of the monsters, like, considerably. There's actually a trophy on Steam for beating the game without leveling Squall up at all. License. What's going on?
There isn't anything for which you can file a patent.
But yeah, no, 7 is great. There's a prequel to 7 that's out as well. It was a PSP game, Crisis Core, which is also really good. It gives a lot of like background stuff to it. Oh, well, the magic from the enemies at the start of the game, once you leveled yourself up, was also leveled up with them, because like obviously the monsters are leveling up. So like you could sit there at the start of the game and end up drawing like fucking Firaga from a Falcon, and then just be like, I'm going to junction you to strength. And but yeah, I think most Final Fantasies are on Xbox right now, if I remember correctly. I'm not 100% on that. But like, it's definitely worth the check. But the like original 7 is great. I'm loving the remakes.
Too late for regrets.
Oh my god, I remember one shot most of the bosses in 8 for the first little bit after doing that. I'm trying to think what else. The 7 remake is good if you play like the fact that you haven't played the original will probably make you appreciate the new one a lot more, because I know there's a lot of people that dislike the 7 remake for a lot of the things they did. I love it. I think it's great. There's a lot of like stuff that they made it more for like the newer audience of things, where like a lot of people enjoy like the very active gameplay styles. Oh, I didn't even see the retry down there, so I could have reset these before. Fucking fuck. Fuck me with a toothpick. But, 7 is really good. I definitely, like, another controversial Final Fantasy opinion that I have is, Final Fantasy 7 was way overhyped. Like, people, like, don't get me wrong, like I said, I love 7 to death, but 7 was one of the first Final Fantasies to have a commercial for it. So, like, more people know about it, which is why I feel like it's got more hype. Like, it was the first one to have, like, the commercial to it, so it's got, like, it got, like, a lot of traction. I think I just did the same fucking thing that I did back there, didn't I? Yes, I did. So, like, since it went really well, they just kind of, like, ran with it, in my opinion. There are much better Final Fantasies out there than 7. Like, the generation from 6 to 9, I find, is, like, the peak. I know you said before, like, 10 is one of your favorites. I love 10 to death, don't get me wrong, but I find that's where Final Fantasies kind of started, like, dipping off a little bit. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying any of them are bad. Like, I love 1 through, like, I still gotta do 16. I haven't beaten or gotten, like, anywhere near in 16. But, like, I find, like, I've beaten 1 through 15. So, like, I've definitely played them. And that's what happens with a lot of people, Rich, is, like, a lot of people will play one of them, and it's the first one they've played, so they're, like, it ends up being their favorite. I find that's, like, a very, like, normal thing, because, like, you know, you play the first one, and it gets you so, like, ingrained in everything about it. So it's just like, oh my god, like, this is what, you know, Final Fantasy is. Oh, 100%, but, like, there's so many, like, especially with the video game industry, there's so many people that get fucking butthurt over the littlest bit of friggin' controversy about a game. Oh, Blitzball is fucking peak. Holy Sword. Ooh. Wait, I think that's what I have equipped. It is. Blitzball, like, that's one of my favorite things about Final Fantasy games, is the mini games in the games. And, like, that's kind of why I feel like after 9 they kind of started, like, dipping a little bit, is because, oh yeah, it's closed off, is after 9 they, like, I guess the stories kind of dipped off a little bit. Like, not a lot. Like, 10 was, the stories are still, like, excellent. But, like, I find they kind of dipped a little bit, and then they stopped a lot with the mini-games. And I'm just like, why? I'm like, mini-games are the good part. It's like, why you gotta do that to me? Because, like, a lot of the newer ones just don't have anything. Like, I spent hours and hours on fucking Blitzball. Like, Blitzball was just so good. Oh, where are we at? We're gonna go here. Oh, that's just a hole in the ground. Oh, never mind. This is where I want to go. And you go up that way? No, you go this way. But, like, you know, 7 has... I'm trying to think. I think there's 4 or 5 mini games in 7, like the original, and then they added a couple more in the remake. Like, 7 has the Chocobo racing. They have Chocobo breeding, where you can get better Chocobos so that you can traverse. Like, the regular Chocobo can just walk around on ground. Then you get the next one up. I think it's light blue. The light blue one can run through rivers. Then you get the dark blue one, I believe. The dark blue one runs through oceans and rivers. And then you get the brown one. The brown one can traverse mountains, so you can just, like, run over mountains. And then the last and final one is the Gold Chocobo, and the Gold Chocobo can just run over everything. So, like, there's just nowhere, like, at that point, you don't need an airship, you don't need, any land vehicles or anything like that. It's just Gold Chocobo, and there's certain places that you can't get without the Gold Chocobo. So there's, like, secret hidden materia that, if you want, you need to either breed a Gold Chocobo or beat an optional, like, super boss. And then, so the Chocobo breeding, Chocobo racing. Then there is, the bike minigame, where it's like you're driving around on a bike attacking guys that are coming at you. Then there is, the little boxing minigame. It's kind of like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, where you gotta guess what move they're gonna use and, like, counter it. Then there is the submarine minigame. Then they have the battle arena. I think that's it. I might be missing something, but I don't think I am. But then the remake added a couple more. Like, there's a card game in the remake. There is, like, kind of like a tower defense game in the remake. Well, in the second remake, anyways, because there's two. There's the first part of it and the second part of it. Then, yeah, so 7 had so many mini games, and then 8 came out, and there's the Chocobo mini game from 8. Then they had a mini game from 8 where you had to plug in a memory card to your PlayStation, and the mini game was part of that, where you could get, like, some items from it, and some items that would summon creatures. Then there was also the card game from 8, which is Beyond. The card game from 8 was what sparked the card game in every other game, like, after that. And, like, it was just beyond good. And the card game from 8 was, like, amazing, and not only that, like, you could turn the cards into things with a certain skill that you could get. So there's, like, some really, really strong, like, even late game items that